Here at Historic
This is David.
Bowl. And I'm here to tell you that the San Diego Zoo is committed to saving species worldwide by uniting our expertise in animal care and conservation science with our dedication to inspiring a passion for nature. We integrate wildlife health, care, science, and education to develop sustainable conservation solutions. Our conservation efforts are now focused to 8 conservation hubs all across the world. These are geographic regions where we think we can make the greatest impact. Today we're going to travel to some of those conservation hubs. But first I have to ask, are we all ready to meet some wildlife?
Yes!
Fabulous. All right, first we are going to start with our One Health approach to saving species worldwide because people, the environment, and wildlife are all interconnected. Wildlife can only thrive when all life thrives. That's the core of our mission and the thread that runs through all of our conservation efforts. And no species better represents this than the canine. Canines have been helping people throughout time, whether it be serving in the military, maybe being part of the police force, or helping in our conservation efforts that we have worldwide. They do this by using their super sniffer. Canines have a sense of smell that is 10 to 100,000 times better than our own.
Watch
so to help
the show.
demonstrate this, we have hidden a scented item somewhere out here for our super sniffer to find. Please make some noise for our amazing super sniffer, Elvis!
Elvis! Handsome boy! Elvis! Elvis! We got to pet him earlier. He was on a walk.
All right, he's using that nose of his. We'll see if he can find it. We have never won this game before. All right. Ooh, seems like it might be a little hard today.
He's got to check the easy spots first and then check for treats.
I don't know where it is. Oh, I see it. Okay. You got it, bud. Sometimes he likes to just come over here and look for snacks. He is way off.
There's Raina.
He does like attention too, so maybe.
Elvis! 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 Every now and again they do kind of stump him like this.
20 minutes.
It's right there.
Oh, he's getting close. His little gears are ticking.
He says, I smell something back here.
Maybe.
Elvis! That's
Elvis
Marley.
found his stuffed koala in record time. That has a scent on it that he is trained to find, sometimes better than others. He had a long day today. He went swimming in this water in front of me for quite a bit today, so maybe he's a little tired. But that's a great representation as to some of the canines that we have worldwide. We have specialty canines in the Australian Conservation Hub who are very helpful in helping find displaced koalas.
Elvis, you're at work.
Devastating wildfires there.
Found a treat.
And we also have canines right here in our own backyard who are helpful during the starting phases of the
Elvis!
mountain yellow-legged frog
You don't
project.
feed me. Leave me
Those
alone.
frogs were able to go out and sniff out any frogs that might have needed our help. And we have canines out in Africa who are able to sniff poachers out so that we can help protect the many species that we're working with. Good job, Elvis. You're just putting on a great presentation today.
He saves his pee to pee during the
Elvis
presentation.
did great out here. So once again, I'm not going to say super, but our sniffer, Elvis. All right, Elvis is very important here at White Bull. He's actually paired with a cheetah, but we have to separate them every time she is getting a meal because, believe it or not, Elvis would steal her food. So we have to make sure that she gets a meal. That's why he gets to do this every single day. That way she can have her meal in the back. Well, he did great out here. Once again, that was Elvis. All right, next up, we are going to continue in our One Health approach to saving species worldwide. We just showed you the domestic dog, so I want to introduce you to a wild canine. And this is one of the top predators in North America. We have a lovely little pack of them here at Wiggaforth Bull, so we would love to introduce
Shasta!
Wiggaforth Bull's Wolf Pack.
With
Closest
Jessica
to me, we have
Beckworth.
Shasta. She
With
is our
Melissa.
only female in our pack.
There's
of
Raina and
3.
Shauna.
Farther away, we have Beckworth. We also have one more elder wolf named Shadow, and they are a true family unit. These two that are out here are actually siblings from the same litter. So Shasta comes in at about 76 pounds and she's in a nice timber color. And then we have Beckworth who comes in at about 120 pounds and he is a black wolf, obviously. They also come in white, they can be a little bit more brown, all sorts of different colors, but they're all gonna fall under that gray wolf or timber wolf category. Now Shadow, their uncle, he's 11 years old, and every now and again we gotta get him a break from these puppies. They have a lot of energy, so sometimes he gets to take a nice little break. Now these two are great representations as to top predators in North America. I don't know if you know this, but wolves used to roam around all over North America, all the way down to Florida. But unfortunately, due to human persecution, we have lost wolves at a rapid number.
Oh, what's he doing down there?
The endangered species list quite often. They're very, very important for the ecosystems that they belong to, as they are considered a keystone species. Now, if you've never heard that term before, a keystone species is like a keystone in an arch. If you remove that keystone in an arch, the entire arch crumbles. If you remove a keystone species from their ecosystem, their entire ecosystem crumbles. So they're very important for keeping certain prey items in check. Now, wolves were reintroduced in Yellowstone, and it was a very successful project where they reintroduced a small pack at first, and it has grown since, and that has been very successful in reshaping all sorts of different things.
Yeah, she's peeing on Elvis's pee.
Now, Shasta and Bex are part of the canid family, or canines, so they're doing a lot of behaviors that canines would do out in the wild.
Shasta!
First and foremost, you saw Shasta over there. She was marking her territory right over Elvis's, so now she owns that part. And Bex over here is doing a very cute and adorable.
Sorry, I wasn't paying attention to Bex.
Now, if you have dogs at home, you may have had your dogs roll around in something super smelly, maybe if they go to the beach, seaweed or something like that. It's a natural behavior that has been passed down from their wild ancestor, the wolf. Now, what they do is they usually roll around in something super duper smelly, maybe a dead carcass, maybe some feces or mud or something, all so that they can cover their own scent. When you are a top predator, you do not want to be sniffed out by what you are hunting. They could also be rolling around in it to bring back that scent to their pack if they find it very interesting. So thankfully here at Waigaforth Bowl, when we present a scent, we do not do carcasses or feces. We do coffee and Bath and Body Works and nice pleasant smells, since we do have to work in close proximity to them. They both actually smell pretty good today. One time someone did do a fish. That wasn't fun. They are quite adorable for their age. They're 4 years of age, and they are great representations to their species. Another behavior that they often will do is sometimes you might see them kind of like scooting at the ground with their paws, or like scraping at the ground after they use the restroom. That's another way that they're spreading their scent. They have scent glands between their toes, so when they do that, that's able to spread their scent as well. And of course, the most successful way that wolves communicate is howling. That is one way to tell other wolves where they are if they're ready for breeding, or to warn other wolves where they are if they're trying to protect their own area. Well, they did great out here. So once again, our wonderful wolf pack, that was Shasta and Bex. All right, we are going to continue in that One Health approach to saving species worldwide, and we are going to move along to a flighted predator, one of the best predators in the sky, and one of the largest of this particular species.
Not there.
Please welcome out our beautiful Eurasian eagle owl. We have Einstein.
Well, I said predator.
Now, Einstein's going to make her way a
gotcha.
little bit closer to you, and I can point out some of her adaptations that help make her that top predator of the sky. Einstein is coming in at 26 years of age. We got her when she was a gray little floof ball, where we named her Albert Einstein after a wise scientist. Well, one day she laid an egg, and that's when we decided Albert probably wasn't a good name, so we have called her Einie now. That is officially her dubbed name. Now, while you're able to see her up close, look at a couple different things. Look at those eyes, look at that beak, look at those feet, and look at the feathers. All of those are great adaptations to help them be hunters. So Einstein here is being accompanied by her care specialist, Marley, who has to wear a very thick leather glove for two different reasons. One of which, those talons are super sharp, so to help protect her hand, and the other reason is the amount of pressure that's being exerted from those feet. It's said that they're able to pop a car tire. That's how much pressure is going on down there. When they swoop down and grab their prey items, they no longer have to think once they have them in their feet. They actually have to think to let go. So kind of opposite of how we are. Now she also has those big, beautiful eyes of hers because owls have great vision. If we were to put her at one end of a football field and a newspaper at the other, she'd be able to read
Einstein.
the fine print day or night. That's pretty awesome. They also have really, really great hearing. Those two little floofs on the top of her head, those are not her ears. She's part of the great horned owl family. That's why she has that attribute. She actually has asymmetric ears. So she has one ear about up here and one ear about down here. So pretty different than us. We have symmetric ears, they have asymmetric ears, but that helps so that they can triangulate sound or literally pinpoint where their prey items are. They're able to hear a mouse's heartbeat 1 foot under the snow. Now, if you have a dog at home and you've ever seen your dog maybe tilt their head while they hear like a big sound or something, they're kind of trying to do the same thing. They're trying to triangulate where that sound is coming from. So another natural behavior you can see with an animal you might have in your own house. Now she also has feathers that are very different than other bird species. They're serrated at the end. You can kind of see the tips of them flowing through the wind while she's out here.
Is Einstein a pretty
that
girl?
Helps to give the owl silent flight. So you literally cannot hear them when they are flying towards their prey item. So they have that great vision, that great hearing, those claws of death, and you can't hear them coming. All of those reasons help them to be a top predator. And they're also very important for our ecosystems as they help to keep different rodents that we don't like in check. If we didn't have owls, it said we'd be up to our knees in different kinds of rodents. So they are very important to have around here. Unfortunately, we're losing owl species at a rapid rate due to secondhand poisoning. An owl will prey on a nice slow mouse that has been poisoned, and in turn they get poisoned. So one way you can help the owl is you can look at different kinds of rodenticides and pesticides that won't hurt your native animals, or you can even invite an owl into your own yard. If you have a nice big yard, you can build an owl box and maybe they'll make a nest in there and then you'll have free pesticide, and maybe you'll hear them hoot at night, which is kind of cool. Well, she did great out here, so once again, our beautiful Eurasian eagle owl, that was Einstein. All right, well, we have a couple more ambassadors to share with you, but first, I'm gonna hand things on over to Raina.
All right, let's give it up for David one more time, everybody. And for all of our friends that we've met so far, we're gonna be moving right along.
Trying to see the name on the food bucket.
Exciting ambassadors. So first off, we are going to be meeting a very special friend who is once again in our One Health approach to saving species all around the globe, and he represents this by being the second largest rodent in all of North America. And he's a pretty interesting rodent. This is one of our newest ambassadors here, new to the world and new to Web 4th Bowl. He just celebrated his 2nd birthday. This is Dakota, our North American porcupine. So like I said, he is a rodent, so he is related to things like mice and rats, and believe it or not, the beaver. So the beaver is the first largest rodent in all of North America. Does anyone know what the largest rodent in the world is? The capybara, yeah. So this is the cousin of the capybara, our friend that we have here in the North America and all of our states here. They do have a very broad range, all the way up from Alaska and down even close to Mexico as well. So they can live in a ton of different temperatures and habitats. They are primarily arboreal, so they're going to be spending a ton of time up in the trees, which is what they eat. So you might notice how he is using his tail as a 5th leg, so he can use that to help him climb. He is covered in what's called quills, which are all of these little white things underneath these black fluffy parts, which are his guard hairs, and then underneath he is covered in about 30,000 quills, which is pretty amazing. Those quills, like I said, are specially adapted hairs, and they are hollow on the inside, but what makes North American porcupines so special is that those quills actually have barbs at the end. So they have teeny tiny little microscopic barbs that allow them to have their quills work their way into the skin at about 1 millimeter per minute, which is pretty important when you can't move very fast. Their top speed is about 2 miles per hour. So if you can't outrun a porcupine, I can't help you there. But this is very important for them when they are avoiding things like predators, which are going to be things like wolves and bobcats, mountain lions. Anything that's bigger than them will want to eat them. As you can see, they are very round. They've got lots of meat on those bones, but it's very difficult meat to get to. The only predator that's been very successful with catching porcupines is something called a fisher, which kind of looks like a weasel badger hybrid, and they're very good at catching porcupines. And the only way to do so is going to be by utilizing the parts of their body that don't have quills, which is going to be their little snout, the pads of their feet, and their bellies, which is where they don't have any quills. Because if you don't have opposable thumbs, it's almost impossible to get to those quills out, because they are very difficult to pull out once they get their barbs in there. They do have little abominable snowman feet that allow them to grip onto branches. They're going to be eating what's called the cambium, so the inner membrane of the wood, which is all where all the vitamins and nutrients is held within those branches. Being that they are rodents, they do have ever-growing teeth, so their teeth are growing for their entire lives. They don't have the best eyesight. They're mostly going to be finding their way around using that big old nose of theirs. You might have noticed that he does have a little
Big old
pig
nose.
and so he has pretty good sense of smell. And then he's got those long nails to help him climb. Like I said, Dakota here, he is 2 years old. He had a pretty interesting start to life. He is actually the first ever porcupine, or North American porcupine, born through C-section. So his mom needed a little bit of extra help getting him out of her tummy, because his dad was from Texas. Everything's bigger in Texas. He got a little bit too big for his mom's belly. Needed a little bit of extra help getting out. So our amazing vet team stepped in, and him and his mom are both doing great now. They needed a little bit of extra help in the beginning, but now they're doing amazing. And Dakota gets to be an ambassador for his species, and he is pretty dang cute. So we're very lucky to have him here. But he is still a baby, so he's still kind of getting the ropes of things. And getting into this warmer weather, he gets a little bit sleepy, so
he's the one that
slower than he
stayed out for
usually
20
is.
minutes at the show.
But we got some of his favorite snacks here to keep him moving along. He's got a little kind of like a protein bar for porcupines, and then some yam,
porcupine,
and some jicama, and he does love corn as well. But the only thing that he likes better than food is actually his people. So motivating him by cheering him on and telling him he's doing a great job is definitely very helpful for not only people but also porcupines. Wouldn't you know it? So he's a very special little guy. We're very lucky to have him. Let's give it up for Dakota. He did such a good job out here.
And he actually left the stage today.
Yay, he's so good. All right, so we are going to be kind of bringing out the star of our show now. Everyone get excited. We're going to be meeting the one, the only. It's Justine Beaver, everybody. She just celebrated her 16th birthday, her sweet 16. She did get a brand new car, drove it all around stage. It was pretty exciting. But she is, of course, a North American or Canadian beaver. They are very important for our ecosystems. They are what's known as a keystone species, which I'm sure we talked about a little bit earlier with our North American gray wolves. But beavers are only second to the animal that kind of changes their environment the most to humans. So they are very, very good at creating the world that they want to live in themselves. They are, of course, rodents, just like Dakota was and just like capybaras are, but they are especially adapted for living in the water. So they are aquatic rodents. You might notice that when she comes on out here, she is an older lady. 16 is very old for a beaver, so she moves much slower than our younger beaver friends. So she's taking her sweet time. Of course, she can do whatever she wants out here. We work on animal time here, but she is coming out nice and slow. But you can see those webbed feet as she moves. They definitely move a lot faster in the water, or if they get spooked. They are, of course, rodents, so they are prey animals. So hearing anything like a noise or seeing even the wind move a branch will make them be alert and very aware of their surroundings, because they want to avoid predators at all costs. And Justine is a professional at that. So you might see when she comes out here, she's going to swim, so she'll show off her tail. Beaver tails are very interesting. They are an adaptive tail, just like the tails that mice and rats have, but big and flat, and that allows them to propel themselves through the water. Beavers can actually hold their breath for about 15 minutes, and they actually have an extra eyelid that is clear so they can see underwater, even though rodent vision isn't the best. they can still utilize those goggles that they have underwater. They also have those big old rodent teeth, and they are ever growing, just like I talked about with Dakota. They also are this very bright orange color, and that's not because they have poor dental hygiene, but it's because they have an extra layer, a coating of what we think iron on the outside that allows them to be super, super strong. Because they are going to be chewing on bark and wood all day, so being able to chew and not get your teeth
They're
worn
gonna
down
try to
is
get
very
her out
important for something
on
that's
this
gonna
side
be
now.
eating wood its entire life.
Which is her typical way to come out, but not sole way to come out.
But they are very good at reduce, reuse, recycle. Beavers utilize every single aspect of a branch. So they're going to take that branch, they're going to peel the bark off.
She may go
they're
straight
gonna
to the
utilize
water.
that bark as bedding for sleeping, and they're going to eat that inner membrane, the cambium, and then use that naked branch to build their dams. So beavers build dams in order to create a still water pond out of a moving water stream. And here she is in all of her glory, Justine Beaver. She is gorgeous, and she does have a dam in the back here, and it's pretty spectacular. Her and her friend River, who they are just getting acquainted, he is our newest member to the beaver family. He didn't know beavers live in family groups often. They actually have little apartments with different rooms in them, kind of similar to what we have. They have rooms for storing food, rooms for sleeping, rooms for going to the bathroom, rooms for raising their babies, all separated in an underwater thing called a lodge, which is inside where they create that pond with their dams. So those dams are not only important for beavers, but for species of all different sizes and all different types of animals. So it might be a tiny bug, even to things like muskrats, and different types of vegetation that wouldn't be able to survive in a moving water environment. But that still water stream or little pond allows them to thrive. So beavers are very, very important for the ecosystem, and without beavers, we would lose a ton of diversity within our waterways. So very lucky to have them here in North America. And we even saw some of this happen over in Yellowstone when wolves were hunted to extinction and overgrazing happened. A lot of the beavers' favorite snacks disappeared, and this means that beavers also disappeared from Yellowstone, and we saw a ton of decrease in biodiversity. But once the wolves came back, the beavers came back too, so very exciting to be able to have these little guys roaming around in our streams. And Justine showing off for you that bipedal walking. They can move on just their back legs. Their front limbs are actually really strong, and they can carry little branches over their shoulders, which is pretty dang cute. They are the builders of the natural world, but their only tool that they need is going to be those teeth. It's their hatchet, their saw, their hammer, their everything. So they are very, very impressive little animals. And I'm lucky to be able to tell you a little bit more about them because they are often misunderstood, just with the porcupine and also with our North American gray wolf. Their importance can never be understated. So let's give it up for Justine. She's probably going to be hanging out here and munching. Maybe she'll go for a swim. She might sing and dance if you stick around long enough. But I'll wrap it up for us here. So the San Diego Zoo Wildlife Alliance is creating a world where all life thrives, and never has this been more important. As first responders in the field, we are there applying a century's worth of first-hand knowledge to global conservation challenges. We collaborate, innovate, and hope to inspire people and wildlife to thrive together for a healthy planet. Because conservation truly is at the heart of everything that we do here, but we really can't do it alone. We need dedicated allies like all of you. You can join the San Diego Zoo Wildlife Alliance by, of course, becoming a member, helping to support some of our amazing conservation efforts all around the globe, or even by volunteering your time and knowledge here on behalf of all of our wildlife and staff. We truly would love to have you, because your support really does make a world of a difference, not only for our wildlife here at Wagaforth Bowl and throughout the zoo, but for communities and wildlife all around the globe. So we thank you for coming out today. Hope you learned something that inspires you to take action in your own lives, and we hope you have a great rest of your day here at the world-famous San Diego Zoo. Bye, everyone!
Thank you! Alright, she may hang out, but my son needs to use the restroom, so. 2 o'clock show, San Diego Zoo. Bye, guys!